dancers, it's time for our holistic journaling. This is number 35, if you're keeping track of that, and excuse my sweatiness, I was just teaching and dancing. So today I thought we could kind of break down all of dance into its different parts and kind of talk about which aspects we're missing and maybe other ways to fill that gap while we're socially distant. So when we're talking about dance in general, I think we're talking about the full experience. So that means studio culture, that means day-to-day studio life and student life, that means performance, that means the professional world, the rehearsal process. There's so much that goes into dance. And I think it's important to take a moment and kind of break down the different pieces of it and see which pieces are the most important to you so that you can, one, determine what you're missing and then determine how to fill that gap. Either if you're leaving dance for any reason, if you need a break from it, or it's just the end of your career as a student or as a professional, how you can fill those missing pieces when you're not dancing, and then also how can you recreate those when you don't have access to them in a time like now when we're socially distant. So I'll get a little more personal. When I got injured and I had to leave the dance world for a little bit, obviously I came back, but I had to spend a lot of time breaking down what parts of dance were important to me and what parts I needed in my life to feel stable and happy and fulfilled. So for me, obviously there was like a camaraderie that, and a social aspect that I felt like it was hard to recreate as an adult. And it was hard to recreate in a non-dance way. Because dance is a really, we talked about it yesterday, it's a really impactful part of your life, and the friendships you make, you're in a really vulnerable place in a dance setting, and so those friendships tend to be really deep and really true. So I missed that. I missed the exercise. Not like I don't like exercise, I don't know that a lot of people do, but I missed the endorphins you get from exercise. I missed the way my body felt, and it impacts your hormones, it impacts the different chemicals your body's releasing, so sometimes a lot of that depression that comes from not dancing comes from not moving. Your body's addicted to the endorphins it gets from dancing, from exercise. I also really missed the ritual of it. I missed the ritual of coming to class and preparing for class and doing rehearsal. The repetitiveness of it really comforts me. It gives me structure and balance. I really missed all the little pieces of being a dancer, putting on your leotard and your tights and breaking in your point shoes, and like all those little ritualistic things I really missed because I don't have those in my life outside of the dance studio. So I would like today, now that we all have this distance from dance, I want you to spend some time and break down the parts of dance that you miss the most. And then try to think of ways you can recreate that. If you miss social aspects, maybe there's ways to reach out to people and make those connections in different ways. If you miss the ritual of getting ready, maybe for your Zoom classes you go through exactly the same motions and you put your hair in a bun and you put your leotard on and you do it. If you miss the creativity, the emotional outlet, maybe there's a different form of art you can get that from when you can't dance it out fully. If you miss performance, maybe there's ways that you can share your performance and your creations without it being on a stage. There's other avenues. But take some time and kind of break down the parts of dance that you love most, that make up the whole, and not replace it, but think of ways to fill those gaps and make sure that you're still fulfilled and happy. So that's enough for today. I rambled on forever today. So as always, write it down if you want, talk to us about it, talk to somebody else about it, or meditate on it. Bye, dancers. Have a good weekend.